Paulo, congratulations on the win tonight. Can you just tell us how you feel after a fight like that? We saw you walking in a little bit gingerly.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. I feel very happy because I show for everybody around the world how tough guy I am. I beat Cormier. For me, is one of the best fighters of the world. The most tough guy on this division after me now, of course. I beat him, and I'm happy. That's it.
Can you tell me about that opening, the opening of the fight where you guys both dropped each other in the first minute? What was going through your mind and how that changed, your game plan and your approach to the fight?
Yeah, my game plan was pressuring him all the time on the first second until the last second of the fight, and I did it. I did this. In the second round, I feel he's more tired, and I try to finish the fight, but he throw his finger on my eye. He's very. Huh? He poked the finger on my eye, and my vision was trouble. Like a blow, yeah, and I need to stop the fight, and I think he had a time to recover and come back with more gas to the fight. So I couldn't knock him out. I guess I could. I could knock him out in the first or second round, but this not happen. Yes, I feel his hand. It's funny because I punched his face. He hurt, and he points. He put the finger. Look this. I look, and when I look for him again, he pushed my face. Yes, I knock down and come back.
And this is the first time you haven't finished an opponent inside the distance. What do you learn about yourself having to go to a decision like this in such a tough fight for the first time?
It's not new to me make 3 rounds, 4 rounds, because I do this on my gym every week. We did 3 spars per week for 3 months, every week, 4 rounds with 4 different guys. I'm in the middle, and 4 different fighters sparring with me. So it's not new to me. I can do 3 rounds, 4 rounds, 5 rounds, and high intensity. So eu estou acostumado. I'm used to do. It's not new to me.
Paulo, congratulations on the win. Before the fight, you said you want to book your tickets for Melbourne, UFC 243. We know Rob has had to pull out of a few fights. If the UFC offered you a spot as a backup for that title fight, would you consider it?
No, absolutely no.
How long before? Is the question. How long before? You say right now, next week?
If he would consider it in the next few weeks, if he was present, not right now, but in the next few weeks, if it's something he would consider.
For fight against?
As a backup. In October, it's...
No, we're not backup. No. I train so hard to be a backup, I train so hard. I need to confirm the fight. I need to confirm the fight to do my camp. My camp is wild, is a jungle wild. You know, I forgot to say it on octagon. I broke in my biceps tier. I broke 2 ribs on this last camp. I broke in my biceps tier of the leg. Man, this is crazy. This is crazy. I bring 9 fighters to sparring with me. All guys go back to home with injuries because it's a wild training camp. I cannot be a, backup. I need to confirm that fight to make my camp.
Just a last question from me. What's your message to Robert Whittaker and Israel Adesanya if they see this? What's your message to them?
I think they both are looking to me espantados, scared, because the both guys know now have a very, very tough guy looking for them. I think Whittaker will beat Adesanya, and I beat Romero. For me, Romero won against Robert Whittaker. But if Adesanya won, take the belt, man, I can kill that guy. He's very skinny. He not have a chance against me. He's a personal with Adesanya, but I think he will defeat.
Borginha. Tá. Você já tinha sido vaiado dessa forma depois de uma vitória? Como é que foi? Te surpreendeu? O que você sentiu naquele momento?
Surpreendeu, sim. Foi algo novo. O pessoal gosta muito do Romero. Eu acho que foi isso. O pessoal é muito fã dele. E desde o início, desde o momento que eu entrei, teve algumas vaias. Ontem, na pesagem, teve algumas vaias. O pessoal gosta muito do Romero aqui em Anaheim. Então, todo mundo queria uma vitória do Romero, entendeu? Eu acho que foi isso. Foi novo, mas tem que saber lidar, cara? Isso não me afeta, não.
Certo. Você, quando acabou a luta, você tinha certeza da vitória? Como é que os seus corners te avisaram? Como você pontuou? Sua equipe pontuou a luta?
O meu irmão Borracha está aqui do lado, junto com o treinador Badola e o Eric Barracin, os 3 corners. No intervalo do primeiro para o segundo, eles vieram me falar, eu ganhei o primeiro round. No segundo, falaram que eu ganhei o segundo round, então eu já sabia que já tinha 2. E precisava fazer o terceiro round bem, justamente para manter, mas, é claro, a gente sempre tenta ganhar, porque a gente nunca sabe a cabeça do juiz, mas, desculpa, qual foi a pergunta?
Se você tinha certeza e como foi a pontuação da equipe, era isso mesmo?
Sim, então, minha equipe me deixou muito ciente da pontuação, entendeu? Tem um papel aí? Papel? Põe em pau no nariz?
Não, é isso mesmo. A minha última pergunta, então, Borginha, teve você mencionou um dedo no olho, teve uma joelhada. Muito se fala do Romero, entre aspas, uma catimba, assim, você sentiu isso? A joelhada você acha que pegou? A dedada, quanto te atrapalhou? Como é que é esse lado, como é esse aspecto de enfrentar o Romero?
Com certeza senti, tá? Em 3 momentos. Você citou 2 muito bem, Diego, e teve um a mais. O a mais foi, eu até falei em inglês aqui, não sei se deu para pegar, meu inglês não está muito bom ainda, mas eu dei um soco nele, ele tomou um knockdown, basicamente, abaixou, e aí ele apontou assim, eu olhei para o lado, quando eu olhei para ele me deu um golpe. Isso foi a primeira artimanha. A segunda foi uma joelhada, eu dei uma joelhada muito forte no abdômen, ele sentiu o golpe. A segunda que eu dei, ele falou que foi na região genitália, eu acho que não foi. Pelo menos não pegou em cheio, não precisava dar o tempo que ele deu. E a terceira foi o dedo no olho. Estava no segundo round, estava pressionando, e senti que ele diminuiu muito o ritmo, poderia nocauteá-lo no segundo, mas aí ele meteu o dedo no meu olho, eu fiquei com a visão muito, muito turva, me atrapalhou muito, então eu tive que dar um tempo, 1 minutinho, 2 minutinhos, e aí eu acho que ele recuperou para o segundo e para o terceiro nesse tempo. Então teve 2 interrupções que pode ter ajudado muito ele. Talvez se não tivesse eu teria nocauteado.
Hey, Paulo, congratulations on the win. You spoke to us in the lead up to this fight that this was a very personal one with Yoel. I'm just wondering, is the beef squashed now? Because afterwards you guys were kind of, hugging and you shared some words. What did you say to each other? And is the beef squashed?
Yes. Before the fight, I was very sad with Romero because he say shit about my name. He say I fail on usada tests, but it's not true. I proved that I never fail on usada tests. But after the fight, I think all these things go to the best and just respect for his fighter, not to his personal human, because I don't know him so much, but about his athlete, I need to respect. He's a 42 years old and amazing fighter.
It's kind of funny because you mentioned before that with Adesanya it's personal, so it's almost like you're going from one personal fight to another. What is it that makes the Adesanya fight personal for you?
Yes, because Adesanya talk shit about me too. And after my last fight against Rhea Hall in 2018, he asked me to fight against him, and he say, I can't beat this. He say, I have dinosaur arms, He say it. So it's personal.
Last one from me, just, with Robert Whittaker and Adesanya, you did say to us that you feel like you're very confident that you can beat both of them in one night. When you look at your skills, your skill set, what is it that you feel, gives you those abilities to beat them both in one night?
The both are not more tough than Yoel, So because this I know, Israel need to prove yet. Itik no, Itik is a true champion, but is not more tough guy than Yoel. So because that, I say I can beat both.
So you actually kind of answered a couple of these questions already, but I'll ask in English and Portuguese, so maybe we can get an English translation. Tive confiança depois da luta que você tive ganhado. Did you have confidence after the fight that you had won?
Yeah, for sure. Tinha muita confiança. For sure, I had a confidence because my corners told me, you won the 3 rounds, and that's it.
Não pensava que era empate entre primeiro e segundo? Wasn't
No.
a tie between the first and second rounds?
No, because I dominate the octagon all time. I'm looking for the fight all time. I pressure him all the time. My punches were very consistent, all punches. He hit me sometimes, but not with powerful, And everybody knows the judges count this, how much power, how much damage your hits can do. So I was very confident on my victory.
So, última luta estava em julho de ano passado. Your last fight was in last July. Parte mais difícil do esperando what's the most difficult part of waiting for another fight after all that time? Muito tempo entre suas lutas.
Okay. I need this time. I need this time for of the octagon to solve some personal things of my life, to organize my training camp, and to relax a little bit because I did 4 fights in a short time, and this time 4 of the octagon was very good for me to focus, and to organize my life. So I not feel difference for 1 year far of the octagonal because I did sparrings very hard on my gym. So this make me feel confidence for this fight.
E você aprendeu coisas sobre você hoje à noite? Did you learn anything about yourself tonight?
Yes, yes. Not too much. Not too much. I think everybody here of you saw more about me, how tough guy I am. But eu já sabia. I already know about that. My coach here already know about that because I will repeat. I did 3 sparrings per week for 3 months with different guys per round. Sometimes 2 guys per round. You know, this is so hard. Nothing is more hard than this. Make a 2 minutes and a half with one guy, and this guy go out and come a fresh guy for 4 or 5 rounds. This is crazy, and we did this on our gym, you know. So I'm ready. I was ready for this war.
Paulo, does it bother you that people was kind of unhappy after the fight, that was booing, and are you expecting to give a revenge?
No, it's common. It's normal. The people like too much Romero and his house, his home. And your second question?
Are we expecting to give a revenge?
Revenge? Yeah. I think not make a good sense. But if everybody wants to see. But my focus is on belt. I want the belt. I beat him. He's a beast, but I beat him. I need to look forward, you know? I need to look forward. The next step is the belt.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your win, Paulo. This was a big step up in competition for you. Was it, I mean, it was a very grueling fight as well. Was it as hard as you thought it would be? Did it meet your expectations in that sense?
Yes, yes. This trade space, my expect, yeah. That fight was very more hard than I expect. I guess I will. Eu achei que eu ia. Yeah, I think I was knockout him on the first or second round, but he's hard.
In hindsight, what do you think you could have done differently to make the fight a bit easier on you?
Man, I think nothing. Nothing. I did my best. Maybe, I don't know, man. I did my best. He's very hard to beat.
Paulo, everybody talked about you and Yoel Romero, the biggest middleweights, the most muscle for a fight. Physically in the first round, how strong did he feel to you?
Can you repeat?
Yes, everyone said you and him are the biggest middleweights, the 2 strongest middleweights. In the first 5 minutes, how strong did he feel to you? Yeah.
Oh, he hit very hard, but I'm also me also, you know. He have a lot powerful on his hands, and he's very strong. He's strong. It's hard to fight against him, but me too. You know, all my punch. The difference between me and him is that all my punches very very hard. All my punches and all my kicks I am feel my chin very pain because I kick his head very, very strong. He defends a little bit, but man, I for sure his arm is almost broken, you know. So he hit hard too. So that's it.
Now, there are other fights going on, Jack Hermanson, Jared Cannonier, but for the record, you're ready to wait until they offer you the fight for the championship?
Estou esperando até, yes, vai esperar até a tua luta pelo campeão cinturão.
Yeah, I will. I will wait for the Adesanya against Whittaker for sure.
Paulo, congratulations on the victory. Your nickname's the Eraser. It's no secret. The Governator, the Terminator, the Eraser. Arnold was in the building himself.
Yeah.
After you got the victory, what did you say to him inside the octagon?
Man, I'm a very fan of Schwarzenegger, and when the captain Eric Albarracin showed me him, he was very close of the octagon, and I say, "Hey Arnold, yeah, my nickname comes from you because my coach showed me you move, and I watch you move, and captain say, Paulo, now you are the Eraser," and he say, "Man, I know." I don't know who tell him to Schwarzenegger about me, but he say, "I know. I'm very glad for it. Thank you."
Paulo, congratulations, amazing performance. You looked fantastic out there. In terms of some of the tactics, we've seen Romero in past fights delay, get off the bench late, maybe rest a few extra seconds, maybe to gather some strength. There was a point in the fight where you need him. It appeared in the stomach. He went down. It looked like a legitimate shot in the stomach, but I believe he made it appear as though he got hit in the groin. I'm not sure, but it didn't appear that way on the replay. Do you feel like he was using that opportunity to maybe get some additional rest? Because at about that point, you had put lots of pressure on him. He was very tired.
I need to translate.
Naquela joelhada, pareceu que foi na barriga. E ele falou que foi na coisa. E ele estava sofrendo muita pressão. Tu acha que não foi uma artimanha? Ele é cheio de
Yes, I guess. For sure, I guess. I hit him very hard with my knee 2 times. The first time, very clear on his stomach. And he said this sound, and I hit again. And he said the same song, and 2 seconds after this, he say, "Oh, my balls," you know. So I think he want to get more time to recover.
Thank you.
Thank you, my brother.
All good? Thanks, guys. Thanks, Paul. You're good.
Thank you very much. Thank you, guys.
Dana should be here shortly, guys. Here, I'll take this.
na cara dele. Não falaram que foi porrada que This is the kick he gave in the Yoel face.
Appreciate it.
Hold on one second.
Hey guys. So the attendance was 17,304. The gate was 3.24 million. It was sold out, and it was the highest gate in California history for an MMA event. The fight of the night, not a shocker, Costa versus Romero. The performance of the night bonuses go to Worthy and Miocic. They all win $50,000 each.
Hi, Dana.
Hey, buddy.
Start with DC. What have you talked to him, and what do you think? He looked like a really good fighter there for 3.5 rounds. What do you think his future is?
Yeah, I just left his locker room right now, and obviously you all know how competitive he is. He's, very bummed out, but there's nothing to be bummed out about. What an absolute war for two heavyweights to go in and punch and take punches the way they did and keep coming forward. When Stipe came out and was waiting for Cormier to walk, I mean, all you had to do was look at it. That guy was in phenomenal shape. Mentally, he was ready for this fight, and he got hit with everything but the kitchen sink and stayed in that fight. Then whoever in his corner told him to start going to the body the way it was brilliant, and incredible fight. And I don't know what the future is for Cormier. I told him, don't think about whether you want to fight again, you don't want to fight again, any of that stuff. Just relax, go home, spend some time with your family, and we'll talk about all that shit later.
I know you said it would kill you to see him leave. Do you think in any way, though, when you look at the way this fight went, I mean, what else is there for him to do? And he fought a brilliant fight tonight.
I agree.
Is there...
Yeah, I don't want to see him leave. I still think he's one of the absolute best in the world. I mean, look at tonight. Stipe is one of the best heavyweights ever. He's got the most defenses. Look at the guys he's beat. Look at the things he's done. And look at the way this fight went tonight. So, but I don't disagree with you either.
To go on to Nate Diaz, I mean, it was a phenomenal performance, even if he had fought 10 times since 2016.
You're right.
But he wins a fight against a very good ex-champion.
An unbelievable ex-champion who has looked ridiculous in his last couple of fights. And you have to talk about the layoff. You have to talk about that this kid hasn't fought in 3 years. And he looked a little rough in the first round. Looked like he gassed out at the end of the first round too, and then completely changed his game plan and started to fight his fight. And then once he got there, he basically did what he wanted against one of the top 10 guys in the world after a 3-year layoff. Pretty damn impressive.
When you think that Nate, his 2 fights against Conor were among your biggest pay-per-view ever, and you heard this crowd tonight, it seemed like he was the main event. They were Diaz all night. Do you think that we have another, Rousey, McGregor level star with Nate Diaz, given the way people are reacting to him now?
Yeah, it's pretty tough to deny. Yeah. He's a needle mover now.
Can you put your finger on what it is that moves the needle? Like, what do you think it is that people see in him that they?
I think it's stuff like I did the fighter meeting, and I specifically told him not to swear on ESPN. He looked right at me and said "motherfucker" right after when he was doing his interview on ESPN, and stuff like that. It's just I read this story. I didn't read the story. I read the headline from one of the big papers that had written a story about this, and it said UFC needs an anti-hero, and here he is, Nate Diaz. And it's true. It's just I said it leading up to this fight. He's the guy that says "fuck you" to the man, but he never really says "fuck you" to the man. He's always, actually, every time I see him, Nate is cool. But he just has this thing that people like.
And I have two other questions for you. Number one, do you like the Masvidal fight that he mentioned? And number two, I saw he went over to Colby, and you had talked to Colby beforehand. Did you warn Colby not to get into it with Nate?
No, what happened was everybody in that section was fighting with Colby. So security kept coming over to me 50 times saying, we got to get him out of there. And I said, no, everybody needs to start acting like fucking professionals, because I don't have another seat in this entire building.
Right.
Every seat in this place is sold out. So that whole section needs to stop starting fights with Colby, and right when I got there too, Masvidal was working his way down the line, and Holloway had moved out of his seat so Masvidal could come into his seat. You know, that fucking game that you play in kindergarten was going on over there when I went over there. So I asked those guys, listen to me. We got a big night going on here. We got a big fight. I don't need a fight breaking out over here with you knuckleheads. Stop it.
And then lastly for me, just can you comment on Paulo Costa? I thought that was one of the best fights of the year, and I thought his performance was spectacular.
I agree. Going into this, I thought that was going to be fight of the night, and it was. I mean, there's just no way that that's not fight of the night. If you look at the way that Costa fights and the way that Romero fights, it just is impossible for that in a fight not to be good, and it was everything that I thought it was going to be. They're both beast, man. What a performance by both guys tonight, especially when they both got clipped in the first round and both guys were hurt right out the gate in the first round, and then to keep going and going 3 rounds and an absolute war like that is impressive. And then did he just leave here? Is that where was he? No, he didn't. But you know, I just talked to him, Costa, in the hallway here before I walked in here. He's in a wheelchair. You know what I mean? That's how awesome that fight was.
Dana, it seems like the people was kind of little unhappy with the result of that Costa versus Romero. What was your take? What was your score at the end of the fight?
With what?
Well, they were booing Costa at the end because.
Really?
What do you think?
I was over there dealing with my kindergarten section when that interview was going on, so I didn't hear what was going on. But I had it scored 2-1. I gave Costa the first 2 rounds, and I gave Romero the 3rd round. And then some of the fighters that I talked to that were there tonight had Romero winning 2 rounds and Costa winning 1 round. I think that that's one of those fights that either way it went, I don't think you'd be like, oh my God, this is an absolute robbery. That fight was ridiculous. And I actually thought that in the 3rd round, Romero could have finished that fight a couple times, and when he had him hurt, he would back off and go back to the middle of the octagon, which I thought was weird, yeah.
And last one for me. Seems like you don't make plans after the events. You don't know the future of Nate Diaz. I don't want to go on that thing right now. But are you a little bit worried about Diaz? He smokes too much CBD. I don't know. Something could happen, you know. Maybe it's a little bit of THC, but could happen.
Maybe what?
I mean,
I'm half deaf, and I can't.
Well, on a drug test, CBD has a minimum of a THC, but maybe in the future, maybe he smokes too much of that CBD thing.
Oh, CBD, yeah. Well, hopefully it was
almost nothing, but still.
Hopefully it was CBD, yeah. I don't know what was in there, but we're gonna find out real soon.
Okay, that was me. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Dana, right here.
And then you asked me, I didn't answer your question about Diaz versus Masvidal. I mean, who wouldn't want to see that fight? I think everybody would want to see that fight. So I don't know. We'll see how that stuff plays out. Go ahead.
So, do you think tonight's performance by Stipe coming back, regaining the title, does this solidify him as the best heavyweight ever?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, and I mean, if Daniel does decide to retire or do whatever, do you see Francis Ngannou as like the top guy in that division?
Well, I think that right now we'll have to see how this thing plays out. What Daniel Cormier wants to do. Does he want the trilogy fight? Does Stipe want Francis? Does Stipe want to give him the trilogy? I don't know. There's a lot of different ways it could go. We just got to take time. That's why, I mean, to talk about what will happen in that division right now is impossible. I mean, you don't know what Daniel's going to do. You don't know what Stipe wants.
Do you think this loss for Daniel, though, effectively kills the potential of any John Jones fight again, though?
I have no idea.
And you mentioned Colby there. He got quite a reaction when he walked into the arena.
Yeah.
Haven't really heard anything like that. What do you make of that when you just hear, there's a fight going on, a good fight, and everyone's chanting, F you, Colby, Colby sucks?
I just talked with Kevin last week. If you look at, me and Kevin were talking about, I don't remember what we were talking about, but something to do with Colby, and everything this kid did in the last fight trended off the charts. So Yeah, he's pretty unpopular yet popular.
Do you know how Kamaru Usman's doing? Are we potentially going to get that fight, in the next few months, Colby and Usman?
Yeah. It'll happen before the end of the year.
And just one other champion I wanted to ask you about. Henry Cejudo told me yesterday that his next fight would be announced tonight, and that doesn't seem like it happened. Is there anything in the works with Henry, or was he just speaking?
He's saying a lot of crazy shit lately. Put that on the list.
But we did see him next to Faber on the broadcast, and they were sitting next to each other, right? Is there something happening there? Or?
No.
Okay.
No.
Dana, right in the middle. From the sellout to the gate record to all the digital trends, I think that there's a lot of people that are expecting that this is probably going to be the biggest card so far of the ESPN Plus era. What have you heard from your partners at ESPN about this?
I was sitting next to the president of ESPN all night, Jimmy Pitaro. Tonight killed it. Tonight was a really, really big night for them. Yeah. And this week, not just this night. I mean, the numbers that they were pulling, and it was a really big week, not just night. But yeah, everybody's happy tonight.
And then a little bit off topic, but there was a news announced recently that MMA is going to be legalized in France starting in January. Have you guys started to move into that market? And is there some idea that you guys want to sort of have the first big MMA event there?
Yeah, well, we've been working on that place for a long time, and we finally got it done. And I thought it was a train or something. We finally got it done. Who knows if we'll be the first ones in there, but we'll go.
Dana, so Costa obviously is pretty banged up after that fight, and he did say even if he weren't so banged up, he had some lingering injuries and would rule himself out as a potential backup for UFC 243.
Yeah, he couldn't. Not only how banged up he is right now, I don't know if he could make the weight again that fast. You know what I mean?
Did you have anybody in mind as a potential substitute fighter in case the worst happens again with Robert Whittaker main eventing in Australia?
Why are we talking about this? This is really negative. I don't even want to talk about this. I don't even want to think about this. Yes, we have all those things in place, but we won't need them.
Okay. Any names you want to drop for that?
Nope. I don't even want to talk about that. You're a mean guy.
No, I'm really a nice guy.
Yeah, you are.
But all right. So one other question. This is a little more positive. So we did hear some rumblings about Darren Teal versus Kelvin Gastelum. Is that something that's in the works? Can you confirm that?
I can't even remember. Are we talking about that? No. Yeah, no. I didn't think so.
Dan over here, not to push too much on the idea of backups, but you obviously have the big event in Abu Dhabi. You had Tony Ferguson here in the crowd. Was there any talk about
We're not
having him
talking
ready?
about backups, man. No backups. We're not talking about backups tonight. No backups. We won't need a backup.
Secondly, of course, the big pay-per-view coming up at MSG, that kind of gets the fall rolling, I think, to a lot of people. Any idea when we might hear about a main event for that card in November?
Soon. Yeah, we're working on stuff for that one soon. We'll have that. What is it? We'll have that. We'll have that in place in the next couple weeks. Thank you.
Hey, Dana down here is here, right? So now that Nate is back after 3 years and he looked great tonight, how do we get him back again like soon now?
Who knows? I mean,
formula?
he called out Masvidal tonight, so that's a positive thing. So, there's no guarantees. Who knows? I don't even think about that. I go on to what's next. Going to China next, and straight from there to Abu Dhabi, and then all these other cards that we got to get together. That'll either play out and happen or not. I can't think about that stuff.
Speaking of China, there's that conflict going on with China and Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And Shenzhen, where you guys are going to be in 2 weeks, is kind of very much at the center of that. Any concerns?
Yeah, it's definitely messing with the event and definitely making it even more challenging. But me personally, I'm so excited for that fight, and it's such an important fight, not just for that division, but for both countries. If Weili Zhang can win and become a world champion, it's a huge deal for China. Now, we all know how Brazil is. Brazil loves champions, and Brazil loves having world titles. So if Andrade can win that fight and keep her belt, it's big. So, but yeah, I've already started messing with my flights and connections to get in there already, especially after what happened the other day in Hong Kong.
But the card is still on, of course, right?
Oh, yeah. We're doing the card no matter what.
Okay.
That's happening no matter what happens.
But there are some logistical.
Even if it's just
issues,
me sitting over there watching the fight.
But there are some like logistical like issues that you guys are having travel-wise, like flying in and stuff.
Oh, say that again?
There are some logistical issues, though, possibly.
No, there haven't been, but I'm making sure that I get there no matter what happens. If something like what happened in the Hong Kong airport happens again, I'm finding out alternate routes for me to get there, no matter what. I'm going to be there, no matter what.
Gotcha. On the undercard tonight was Bermudez and Kenny, and that fight was going to be at bantamweight, and it got moved up to a catchweight at 140. What was the story there? Because I know you guys aren't really a huge fan of that happening all that often.
So ask me that again. What happened?
The Bermudez-Kenny fight was going to be at bantamweight, and it got moved up to a catchweight at 140.
Well, I think what happened was I think that he took that fight on short notice, like 5 days notice. That's why that happened.
Was that fight?
I think so. I don't know. I couldn't honestly tell you the answer to that right now.
And have you spoken to Conor McGregor at all since that video came?
No, I was just saying to Brett, I haven't looked at my phone yet. And he said, well, if you had to bet whether there's text from Conor on your phone, what would you think? And I'd say, I bet there is. So,
Is Conor Nate 3?
I have no idea. I'm just saying I haven't looked at my phone, so I don't know if Conor texted me or didn't text me.
Thanks, Dana.
Yep.
Hi, Dana. Going back to Costa. Costa asked for a title shot. Do you think he deserves a title shot? It's his next step?
You know, when I talk to you guys after a fight, usually like an RDA fight, I say, man, when you beat RDA, you know, that's a big deal, and he's one of the toughest guys out there. He's beat some of the best in the world. When you beat Romero, and especially the way he beat him tonight in a fight like tonight, I wouldn't say that he doesn't deserve a title shot.
Hey, Dana.
Yeah.
Teal Majuri, MMA Mania. Congrats on the big night.
Thank you.
So Jorge Masvidal was back here, and he told us there were some delicious offers on the table, knowing that he's not getting that title shot right now, and with Conor's uncertainty and Nate's call-out. Is this something you guys discussed before, that Jorge could fight that winner?
No. The winner of who? This tonight? No,
yes.
No, that was never discussed.
Was there something else
if you
discussed?
had to, if tonight, you asked me before the fight, do you think he'll call out Masvidal? That would have been the last guy on earth I thought he would have called out. But he did, and it's kind of fun. I don't think anybody would disagree that they wouldn't want to see that fight. So I don't know. We'll see. You know, I know that Masvidal believes that he should get the next shot after, you know, Usman and Colby fight. So we'll see. You know, if he wanted to take that fight, that would be fun, and I wouldn't be opposed to it. Cool? That's it? Thank you guys so much. Oh, go ahead. What's up, Karen?
Well, I was just going to ask.
Give her a mic, somebody.
There was a rumor going around that Nate actually hadn't signed the contract until kind of 11th hour. Is that true? The fight contract?
No. Nate's been signed for.
Okay.
We haven't had any problems with Nate. Nate, other than smoking and motherfucker on ESPN, and you know, and you know, not showing up to the stare downs that day or media day that day. Nate's been good.
I'm glad to hear that, because that was the rumor that
there
was
hasn't
going
been
around.
any. Once like I said, once these guys, whether it's him or his brother, they make up their minds that they want to fight. They're in. They show up and they fight. There are little hiccups and little things that happen along the way, and you know, I used to flip out about that stuff, but we just sort of roll with it, and I pick and choose my battles with these guys. And you know, anytime I deal with either one of the Diaz brothers, they're nice.
Well, how much do you deal with Nick now?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people have kind of written him off, unfortunately.
Written him off as far as what?
As Nick, if we'll ever see him come back.
Oh, Nick?
Nick, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I was saying Nick.
Yeah.
Anytime I deal with the guys, they're not bad guys.
Of course, yeah.
They're good guys.
Yeah. Last question from me anyway, and I know you got to go. I was talking to Sadiq Youssef about Africa. Obviously, we know we've got African champions in the UFC right now. There are emerging markets like France. Is there any idea that we could ever have a UFC Africa?
Yeah, and actually, what's crazy, and most people might not know this, but the sport has been big in Africa for a while. I mean, that's why these guys are popping up, because we had a television deal in Africa for a while, and then they have another organization over there,
EFC.
EFC, that's what it is. EFC, that's pretty popular and does well, and between those two things, it helped build a market there, and it's real. So the answer is yes. The long-winded answer to your question is yes.
But it would maybe be in a place like Morocco.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there is a market there. It is real, and yes, we can and probably will do a fight there.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool? Thank you, guys. Have a great night. Have a safe trip home.
What's up, guys?
Hey, Daniel. Thanks for coming to talk to us. I appreciate it. Can you just talk us through the fight a little bit? I mean, kind of in contrast to the first one, it seems like things were kind of going good until they weren't. Is that how you felt about it, more or less?
I think so. I mean, I felt like I was doing pretty good. Yeah, felt like I was doing pretty good. But then he landed that shot in the fourth round. He landed some good body punches, and he landed that right hand that I didn't see, and he got the finish. He did a great job.
Yeah. What do you think made that approach so effective? Like, were you tiring at that point, and maybe that's why the body work worked so well in the fourth as opposed to maybe earlier in the fight?
I kind of took the pressure off a little bit. I don't know why. Like maybe try to like rest and recover for the fifth round because he wasn't going anywhere. I don't know what the reasoning behind it was, but obviously it was a mistake.
And I know Joe Rogan kind of asked you about the future and stuff in the cage. That was obviously immediately in the aftermath. I know it hasn't been too long, but have you had any more time to think about your future?
A lot of times we base decisions in emotion. I don't want to be that guy, so I'm gonna go back and talk to Selena and talk to my coaches, and we'll figure out what's next.
DC, I wanted to ask you just tactically. You were going in a lot of, especially in the second half of the fight, with your hands down a lot of the way. Were you that confident, like that? You were able to just walk in there and land those shots.
The problem is I was going and he was hitting me, but then they didn't feel like I didn't feel that much. And it's not about like the shots that you take, it's the one that you just don't see coming. And that was a great combination by Stipe off of that body shot. He threw that 1-2 right behind it. And I didn't see it. A lot of times I see punches and I kind of roll with them so I don't take the full brunt of the punch, but on that one, he landed perfect.
It's a difficult thing to ask in the aftermath of a loss, but when you get stopped in a fight like that, I'm sure you had no thought that you were going to be stopped. Does that compare to the kick to the head by Jones? I mean, or is this a different type of feeling because there's not the animosity?
Just losing is just terrible for me. I'm a competitive guy, and just losing any type of fight is just terrible. But being finished is just, to me, is just insane. So I don't know. I mean, I never really thought about them in comparison to each other, but, that's twice I've been stopped. That's not good, so I'm smart enough to understand that.
Lastly, he came in, I think, 11.5 pounds lighter and the lightest he's ever been by far in the UFC. Did that make a difference in his quickness, and did you notice he was any faster than he was last time?
I didn't feel like he was faster. I really didn't, but I think in some instances he maybe tired a little bit more, and I think tonight he may not have tired as much as he did prior when he was bigger. But he didn't feel faster. I still felt like I could see what he was throwing, but I thought he just fought a good fight, you know. And I don't know, like we fought what 3.5, almost 4 rounds, you know. So, I mean, I don't really know. Like I haven't I haven't watched the fight, so I don't know how I was doing in the fight. You know, like everything's going so fast in there, so I don't know, you know, how I was doing in regards to winning and losing. I felt like I was doing good, but you know, obviously he finished the fight, so it doesn't matter.
DC down here to your right. You had success in the first round with wrestling.
Yeah.
A nice slam, and you were in top control. Did you think about going back to that? Was that part of the strategy, or you didn't really go back to it?
That was the strategy. You know, that's probably the biggest letdown is how I let my coaches down. They were begging me to wrestle. And that's probably the most disappointing thing, is that I didn't do what I was trained to do. And I feel like I let my coaches down, let them down.
Was there any reason why you didn't go back to it just in the moment?
You know, I think when you start finding success and landing things, you just kind of fall in love with it. You know, I feel it feels like the Gustafsson fight all over again when I wrestled a lot in the first round, and then for the last 4 rounds I just didn't, and they were begging me to do it then. But tonight I actually paid the ultimate price for not listening to my coaches. I'm usually pretty good about doing that.
And you landed 181 significant strikes, which is actually the most in a loss in UFC history.
What's that?
You landed the most significant strikes in a loss in UFC history. It's actually tied with your boy Max Holloway.
I didn't even, I didn't know how many times I hit him. I just know that I was hitting him, and I could see him getting marked up, you know, and I think you fall in love with the visuals of a guy's face getting marked up.
In the first fight, you hit him with that one shot in the clinch, and he went down, and he was done. Were you surprised that he was able to take as much punishment as he did?
No, I knew he had a good chin. You know, I knew the first time, because that punch I've landed prior, and the guys didn't go down. So I knew it would be different. I anticipated a long fight.
And Kevin asked you about Stipe's size, but you were also significantly lighter in this fight than you were against Derek Lewis and you were against Stipe the first time. What was the strategy there?
Because I figured it would be a longer fight. I figured that he wasn't going anywhere. You know, I understand the motivation in a rematch, and I figured he was going to be there for the long run, which he was. Just a couple more questions.
Thanks, Daniel.
Daniel, you had your first fight was 4.5 minutes. The second one was about 19. What was the biggest difference you think in Stipe's improvement this time around?
I just think that, I mean, he's always been good, you know. He's always been very good, you know. So I guess tonight's fight was the fight I expected the first time. You know, that's kind of what I felt like it was. That was the fight I expected the first time.
And then specifically, you don't seem that you really knew what was happening in the fight. Did you think you were winning? And are you pleased with the overall performance that you put on?
You can't, it's hard to be pleased in a loss. But I mean, I felt like I was winning. I felt like I was winning the fight. I felt like I was hitting him a lot more than I was getting hit. But, you know, I guess even if I was winning, I was winning until I wasn't, you know. It doesn't matter. Ultimately, the end result is what matters. That's it. Hey, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Hey Nate, congrats on the win. I'm down here to your right.
Thank you very much.
No problem. So first time back in the octagon in 3 years, almost to the day actually. What did it feel like in there? Was it any different? What was kind of going through your mind?
It felt like just when where I left off, and I just didn't really pay much attention except for just get the job done.
Was the game plan always to try to get him in the clinch and up against the cage?
No, I planned it on kicking him in his face, but it just kind of went how it went. I didn't even work any of that clinch stuff. It just was like I was just like, I'm either gonna do all this stuff I was drilling and working on, or I'm just gonna get into a full-on fight with him and add that shit to it.
In the third round, you had him in big trouble. He kind of he fell, and then I mean he was close to being out there. You think the fight was over at that point?
Yeah, I thought it was the beginning of the end for sure, but I just went in there and went. I warmed up in the back really good, and I was going hard, and then I kept warm when I went out, and then I started fighting because I didn't want to. I know it was a 5-minute round fight, and my last couple fights were 5-minute rounds, so I wanted to go in there like my first round was my third or fourth round, and so I went in, and first minute in from the intensity and how long I was going, I was already tired, so I didn't have the full juice to ease up and full on take him out. I felt like that's the way I had to approach the 3-round fight.
The last thing for me, Dana was in here before, and he said that the last thing he thought you would say after the fight was calling out Jorge Masvidal. Why did you do that?
Just because you got to recognize who's the best of the best in this game, and it's not who they're saying it is. It's who I'm saying it is. It's the guys who've been in here for forever and now are still on the top of the game. Like Pettis just knocked out Thompson, who was just fighting for the 170 title a whole bunch of times, and then he fights Pettis. Pettis just knocks his ass out real quick. Who's the real baddest dude in the 170 division? And then they were trying to pump up a dude, and then Masvidal goes in there and knocks his ass out after he's been in here since I started fighting in 2004, I think. And then I think he's either been there right then or a little longer, and he just did that. So, and I just did that. So that's the best fighter to me, the best martial artist who's still on top of the game. Like I said, I've been through waves of these guys. There's a couple guys who come in and then they fight for a title or peak in, have 3 good fights. They fight for a title, they get the belt, then they get their ass whipped, then they have another loss, maybe have another win and then another loss, and then they're gone with the win. And that's not the best fighters to me. I've been here in 40 years, fighting, still killing. Remember, like, who was his, like, Jake Ellenberger was, like, peaking for a minute, and then he was the guy, and then he just got worked over, and then he had a couple fights, and he was just gone, and then, like, Rick's story, and I can't even think of other examples, but there's a whole bunch of people. Grant Manor was one of the best guys for a minute, and he's just gone. Everybody's just here and gone, and here and gone. I'm like, what's up? I'm still here. And those are the best fighters in the world to me.
Nate, it seems like Masvidal's interested in this fight. When, ideally, would you like to compete again?
If everything works out right how it's supposed to work out, then I'll fight next month. If nobody's in a hurry, I want to get this done how it's supposed to be done and do it right and treat it like it should be treated, I ain't even in no rush. So it's not me who's going to be doing the sitting out. It's them that's going to be holding me out, or people not jumping on and trying to get it done. And that's where I've been for the last 3 years, because I never stopped training camp. no one was showing any acknowledgement for being the best fighter in the world, which I am, just like Masvidal. That's what I'm saying. Like, why ain't nobody fucking like, what? That's the guy to fight. He just beat the best guy, and he's been around doing this the whole time. So I'm into the best martial artists in the world, not like some hold on to you wrestlers who are gonna hold you and hopefully win around and find a loophole to win in these fights and put belts on their waist. Now we're fighting for the baddest motherfucker in the game, belt, and that's mine. So I'd like to defend it against Jorge Masvidal. So if you want to be the baddest motherfucker, that's how we're gonna do it.
Tonight was the highest gate in a California MMA event, especially for the UFC, and sounds like this pay-per-view is trending really well for the UFC. Dana White came in here earlier and he said, I guess Nate Diaz is a needle mover, and obviously referenced that comment a few years ago. Do you feel like you're kind of getting that appreciation finally that you spoke about for so long?
Yeah, he knew then too, though. That's not gonna be a good friend. That's not a good business move to tell me I'm the shit. You know what I'm saying? Because then I'm gonna be like, give me the shit money. So give me some I'm the shit money. You feel me? And then he had to do what he had to do. So I ain't mad at him either for that. So but it's cool that he's acknowledging the fact that.
Yeah, no, he said he feels you're, Conor McGregor, Ronda Rousey level star coming out of this performance.
Yeah, for sure. You like that? Yeah, a show.
Congrats, Nate. Right in front of you. Just curious, I think you said in the cage, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of these guys suck, and that's why you weren't around. I wonder if they sucked, wouldn't it make sense just to go in there and get a lot of easy wins and make easy money and build up your bank account instead of sitting out all that time?
Yeah, but look from the outside perspective. If you're watching a fight, or if you even want to be a fighter, like I'm looking for a badass fight. You know what I'm saying? Somebody to fucking whip someone's ass and recognize the other guy who's whipping someone's ass and be like, hey, I'm the head ass whooper here. I want some of you then. And I did that with Conor. Because they were promoting him like he was the top don of this whole thing, and he was brand new, and that was making me hot. It was nothing personal against the dude, because all respect for anybody who's going to get there. You know what I'm saying? You got to get yours. But if you're going to just not, like, acknowledge the fact that I'm here and been here, and, like, when you start, like, when did Pettis start fighting? And Conor. Them fools was probably watching me fight on the UFC when they was in high school. I'm like, you better recognize and I'm disrespected. That's why I gotta get these fights. Like, what's up? And that's the shit I want to see if I'm watching the game. Like I always say it like this. Like, you ever like when you get a video game like Street Fighter, like who are you gonna pick? Who are you gonna pick? You know what I'm saying? I want to pick the baddest looking motherfucker right there who does the coolest shit. And I believe that. I believe that. I believe that I'm the coolest at all these sorry ass motherfuckers who are just sat around for 3 years and let me whip Conor McGregor's ass, and then nobody said nothing. Like, what? I would have been like, that's the best, baddest dude. He called out dude. He got the fight. He whipped him, and then they robbed him, and then. Oh, he's out for 3 years. Like, why didn't somebody step up like, hey, if he's out for 3 years, get your ass back in the game. I'm going to whip your ass. And then I'm like, oh, I got to step back in the game real quick and fight that guy, because I can't be going to the coffee shop and have somebody say, man, that guy said he was going to whip your ass all over the place. I'm like, no, he's not going to whip my ass. That's why I'm going to fight him. So there's your blueprint. And none of these fighters know how to do that, because none of them have imagination. None of them hadn't played Street Fighter or watched a cool movie before. And, like, where your head to, you little jock wrestler? You're going to just sit there and do all this politically correct shit? But this is a fight game, dude. Quit acting like this is some professional sport and saying, whatever they want to give me is going to be fine. It's like, no, I'm going to take what's mine. And that's what I'm talking about with the baddest motherfucker title. And I need that belt made as soon as possible. You're cocky, Nate. They're like...
Two last questions. Number one, you beat Conor, obviously, when he was at the height of his popularity. Do you think this win exceeds that because you were away for 3 years, and even though you mentioned you had never stopped training, you hadn't fought in 3 years, and you beat a really good fighter? And two, Colby Covington was over there. I don't know if you heard, but the crowd was chanting, fuck you, Colby. And giving him a hard time. He was carrying a belt with him tonight. Would you consider fighting him at some point too?
Who's it?
Covington?
What weight?
Welterweight?
I don't know who that is. So, like, if we got somebody good to fight, that's who I want to fight. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You got to do something. If you've been here for 2 weeks and get a little hype show, I don't give a shit.
All right, Nate, congratulations on your win down front.
Thank you very much.
No problem. So a lot is changing in your personal life since we last saw you fight, namely your daughter. And has being a father now changed the way you approach the fight or just the way you think about the entire game?
I've been a father for years. Fathering all kinds of these little motherfuckers.
That's enough. Are you good? Okay. Oh, Nate, you're amazing. Listen, you have been out such a long time. Obviously, that third fight with Conor is something a lot of people want to see. Is there any chance that that could happen by the end of the year? Conor, third fight, December, possibility?
If that's something that works into the schedule, I'm gonna fight the baddest dudes, the biggest, baddest shows that people want to see. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to do. So it's up to the everybody who's involved in that. If they want it, they're gonna call me and tell me they want it.
So why do you think it is that people didn't call out your name? Is it partly because maybe they want to fight somebody in the rankings and you're such a big risk to fight you and you weren't maybe?
I don't think they know how to do it. I don't think anybody knows how to do it. Everybody's beginners. They're all or scared or something. But like I said, I don't want to be all full of myself and riding on a high horse and cocky and shit, but I got way too much money to be having to fight somebody that's not interesting. You know what I'm saying? I'm an entrepreneur. I got all kinds of shit going on, and it's been good and fun. And no matter how much money I make and how much I do, it just isn't as. It's not like after a while you're just like I have to do what I've been doing, because this shit's just not the lifestyle I like. I like the healthy living lifestyle, training for something, getting a job done, and the feeling of getting a job done or what I started in the first place that led to all this other stuff. That's what I'm into.
So obviously your brother Nick does this too, or used to do this too anyway. We haven't seen him in a while, but what do you think about the fact that you've kind of eclipsed him now? I mean, Nick was here first maybe, but you may last the longest.
No, I'm just out here keeping the Nick Diaz army, keeping the Nick Diaz. I'm representing for him. Mainly, that's my main thing from the beginning. Fighting was making sure that I made Nick and Caesar proud and happy with what I'm doing, even though he's probably got a lot of criticism for me. When I go see him right now, I know he's gonna give me all kinds of things. And I appreciate it, but that's what he's the best fighter in the world, and I think the same thing with him. Like, I came here to just spit it and get the job done, so I can spit it. That everybody's weak. What are you gonna do? You're gonna just sit there and not? How are you gonna fight somebody if nobody's fucking wants to fight? It's like I ain't no bully. I don't want to just go beat nobody up. That's not fun to me. That's not fun to him. But if nobody wants to get it, it's not very motivating to just sign up for fights, straight up.
So he's not completely done, though. There's a possibility your brother could still fight?
Yeah, what's up? They should do something. Somebody needs to, I mean, I'm not trying to tell people to go yelling at Nick, but, like, I don't think there's nothing that's very interesting to him right now.
Okay, thanks.
I think I keep hearing GSP dabbling a little bit. I don't know what to deal with that, but if he ever came back to the table, I'm sure that'd be good. And for both of them, they're both just they're just both sitting there with nobody to fight because they're the best fighters in the game, and nobody's recognizing that. And like, I mean, you know, they have a little bit, but it's like, okay, that's in the past. That's not in the past. That's like they're still here, and I feel like it's probably uninteresting to them, both of them. So that's just my thoughts on that. I don't mean to speak for Nick at all. Nick's fucking probably got a whole nother thought on all this. I probably just pissed him off too.
Well, bring him out here then. Come on.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nick.
I gotta go meet him at the thing.
Nick over here. It's clear you have a business savvy during the media workout. I mean, the CBD thing was all theatrics, but you're also plugging your company. How do you want to leverage this new opportunity you have as a star, as Dana White says, as a needle mover to make the money and the fights that you actually want? How are you going to actually position yourself?
I don't understand the question. I think I'm positioned. I don't get it. What was the question?
So essentially, how are you going to leverage this new opportunity that you have to get the money and the fights that you want?
How am I going to leverage it? I feel like it's leveraged.
And then speaking of the CBD, you mentioned you're going to indulge in some weed right afterwards. How soon do you plan on doing that?
As soon as I get out of this damn arena, they won't let me smoke till I'm gone.
Thank you.
Hey, speaking of that, shout out to my boy Big Lon and the Taylor gang, because I've been hanging out with Big Lon, and I got a lot of good ideas from him and his team, for sure. Thank you, everybody.
Hey, congrats, Stipe.
Thank you.
I want to start just by asking you about your weight. Everybody, I think, was shocked that you came in as light as you was. Was it because you wanted to get more quickness based on what you saw in the first fight?
Not at all. I have a child now, so I don't want to have a dad bod. So it's mostly just trying to keep my body in shape so I look good, because I want to, I want to get a dad bod. No, honestly, with the whole weight thing, I was eating a ton of food. I was drinking water. I was training hard, and it's been a hot summer too. So, but I mean, it just came off. I don't know. I mean, listen, I felt so efficient. I felt strong. I felt amazing. I just started off a little slow, but we're good.
You went to the body shots. Did the corner tell you that, or was that something instinctively that you saw?
Me, it's something I saw. I actually talked to my coach earlier in the week about it. And I was like, I remember always lifting his arms up when he throws punches or blocks punches, and I was like, you know what? I mean, no one really tests his body. I'm gonna start going. And I remember when Anderson Silva fight in UFC 200, he caught him with a body shot to the kick. I'm like, you know what? Maybe it's a little weaker than I thought, you know. So and I hit him with a couple of them, and I saw him wince.
And when you were in the early part of the fight, you know, he was landing some shots. He had his hands down. Was that frustrating? Because I know you're a good boxer, and yet he's in there right in front of you with his hands at his side, and he's still landing on you.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks. You know, a couple times, I don't know if he was, I don't know, I feel like I was getting poked in the eye, but maybe he wasn't. I don't know. I just, I was a couple times, I'm like, God, is that finger? Like, I don't know. I don't know if it was a knuckle. I mean, I wasn't trying to bitch about it, but it just, I don't know if it was. But, you know, we overcame it. And, you know, listen, he's an amazing fighter. You know, he makes people feel uncomfortable in there. And he did that for the first 2 rounds. But then I started getting my bearings straight. I saw him slowing down. I'm like, okay, this is where I got to take it now.
And then lastly for me, where do you want to go? I mean, Dana talked about he was going to talk to you. Do you do a trilogy with DC? Do you rematch Francis? I mean, do you have any thought? I know you just won the belt, but any idea?
That's the number one question after every time about who are you going to fight next? Honestly, I just bought a new home. Been there for 2 weeks. I'm going to go in the hot tub, the pool, let my body rest, and we can figure it out from there.
Cool. Congrats again.
Thank you, sir.
Stipe right in the middle here.
Oh, yeah.
In the first round, Daniel picked you up and he got you in the slam.
Yeah, I thought I was up there for like an hour. What was that? I thought we were doing like WWE or something. Is he calling me out? I don't know. It was weird.
It was weird, but also, you know, what does it feel like for you to be prone in that position? We've never seen you in that position.
It happens. I mean, listen, it's a fight, anything can happen, you know. And you know, he's giving me some good shots on bottom, but I wasn't really worried. You know, I was smart about it. You know, he's tough. He's good. He's an amazing wrestler, and you know, I just. Like I said, I just started off slow in that first 2 rounds. I wasn't me. And in that third round, I knew I was a better fighter. And that's when it gets overcome, man. It's nothing but adversity. It's awesome. That's how we do it here in Cleveland.
All week, you seem to be making googly eyes at your daughter. We saw you at the weigh-in. We saw you
beautiful.
At the
Would you?
How much was she in your mind as you were in the cage?
She's always in my mind. It's my homie. It's my sidekick. You know, no matter what happens in this fight game, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to fight. Win, lose, or draw. I'm swinging, I'm going out there, but as long as I know I'm going home with my daughter, that's all I care about.
And did it occur to you that you actually finished DC in the same exact position where Jones finished him in this building a couple years ago?
I don't really care about that. I care about I got this bad boy back, and I can go home with my daughter.
Stipe right here in front of you. Curious what you make of that new belt compared to the one you had before.
It's a belt, man. I'm champ again, so all I care about.
Where did you learn that celebration after the
dude, I honestly, I get it was in old school. We watched it today, and I kind of franked and tanked it. I just had no idea what I was doing. I kind of just lost. I don't know why I did it. I feel really dumb that I did it. And then I did the sock. I don't know why. I feel like I didn't know do something with my hands or my feet, and I don't know. I'm an idiot. I'm dumb.
Is it just adrenaline that takes over?
Yeah, I think adrenaline takes over. You know, I'm just I'm that guy at a party that does dumb stuff. You know, why would you do that? But it's fun.
Right. And I think a lot of people going into that fourth round maybe had Daniel up 2-1 or 3-0. You had, I think, the second largest statistical comeback in a championship fight in terms of being outlanded and then finishing the fight. What's going through your mind? You know, when maybe you're getting hit a lot. He hit you with a lot of big shots. What was going through your mind at those points?
Stop fighting like a bitch. I mean, I was fighting like a bitch. It really was. And, you know, I didn't take nothing from DC, man. Dude's tough. You know, he fought the best world. He's beat the best in the world. And, you know, just finally, you know, it took me a little time to get my mojo. And I just couldn't feel it. I just couldn't feel it. And my one coach told me, man, when you walked in that fourth round, I knew it was going to be over. He's like, I just see in your face, the way your swagger, your hips are moving. He's like, I knew it was going to be good.
I know you said you don't want to think about what's next, but I know DC tried to kind of stick it to you a little bit about waiting out for the rematch and all that kind of stuff. If he does choose to continue fighting, is there any part of you that kind of wants to stick it back to him a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, whatever, man. I'm down for whatever. But right now, I just want to rest. I want to heal up. I'm going to be 37 on Monday. I feel like I'm 98 right now. And, yeah, we'll figure it out.
Stipe, after the win.
What's that? Sorry.
After the win, you had both Dana and John Jones say you're the greatest heavyweight of all time.
That's cool.
Does that mean something to you? And where do you think you stand in those rankings?
I mean, that's awesome, especially John Jones saying that, and Dana. It's real cool, man. It's cool to be noticed for your accomplishments. Listen, at the end of the day, I just want my daughter to be proud of me. You know, my dad did something in his life. My dad, you know, he fought for a living to give me a better life. You know, that's all I care about.
So I guess in the end, is legacy? I mean, is legacy?
It's all about legacy now. At first, I was like, yeah, fuck the legacy. Now I'm like, that's all about legacy. You know, have a good legacy. But I want me a legacy where I'm a good dude. You know, I'm a tough fighter. You know, I've gone through adversity. I've done a lot. You know, I mean, listen, never been an easy road. I don't mind it. I like it hard because it makes it that much sweeter.
And then lastly, I said John mentioned you were the best heavyweight of all time. Is that a fight that interests you at some point?
You guys are killing me with these fights. Jesus. Yeah, I mean, I always say I'll fight anyone, honestly. It was really cool to say. Appreciate it. Hope he's doing well. But yeah, I mean, I'm not fight anyone. No more who you fight next questions, though, okay? Please, I beg of you. I'm joking. You guys.
Hey, Steve, down over here. So you're right. Who do you want to fight next? No,
listen, you're never coming to Fire Station again. You're out.
DC had 181 significant strikes. It was the most ever in a loss in UFC history. First time you guys fought, you lost in the first round. He hit you with one punch. Did anything change? Did you kind of know what was coming more? Or how were you able to absorb so many blows?
Well, I don't know. I knew I was a better fighter. And like I said, those first 2 rounds looked really bad. I know they looked really bad. He was teeing off on me, and I just dug down deep, man. You know, it's a Midwest thing, dude.
What kind of ribbing are you going to get when you go back to the fire station?
It's going to be terrible. I don't think I'm going to work again. I might quit. They're going to destroy me. It's not going to be fun.
You're trying to go full time. Gotta work.
Well, yeah, I got no choice then, yeah.
They may bring up that dance at the end.
Oh, 100%. They're going to make me do it on the front of the apron. It's going to be terrible. It's going to be awkward.
And last thing for me, you weighed in at 230 pounds.
Yeah.
There's no way you could go to 205.
Oh, God, no.
No chance, right?
No. No. That was crazy. I couldn't believe I weighed that much. But yeah, it just, like I said, it just wasn't trying anything. I was just working out hard and just eating good and just, you know, drinking a ton of water. I mean, I no joke, I would go and get like a burger just to like, cause I was like, what the hell? So I would eat shitty food once in a while just to like see what would help, and nothing. And just kind of, I mean, I did a crowd machine during the week. They're like, you're gonna stop sweating the minute you get in there. I was still sweating while I was in there. I'm like, hope I don't get frostbite. It'd be terrible. Like that with the Antonio Brown, that'd be terrible, right? I couldn't fight. It'd be terrible. But anyway, but thanks for the article. It was a great article, by the way. You did.
Thanks. Thank you.
So you were just being honest about getting beat up those first couple of rounds?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, in hindsight now, it doesn't matter because you won, but was there ring rust? Was there jitters? Was there an adrenaline dump? What was it?
I don't think it was an adrenaline dump. I think it was more like the ring rust and just getting my bearings straight. He's a tough guy, and he's really awkward. He makes it awkward for you. That's what he's good at. And I think it just, it just took me a little bit, But hey, like you said, and it's sprint, it's a marathon.
So he said that he let his coaches down. He feels like he let his coaches down by not wrestling. Did you expect him to try to take you down more?
Yeah, I mean, he got me that first takedown. I felt comfortable. I got the angle, and I didn't do what I was supposed to. I've been working on it the whole camp, and then he lifted me up like, I don't know. I thought he was gonna start walking around the octagon or something. He's like, I don't know. And then and after that, I felt good. He did it again. I sprawled on him, and I started feeling more comfortable. I knew he was getting tired. I'm like, okay, so it's gonna be a lot easier for me, because he's an amazing wrestler. He's an amazing fighter, and listen. Trust me, when you lose, you feel like you let your coaches down. Like that's what I did last fight. I feel like I let my coaches down.
So obviously you had the joy of your daughter to keep you company all this time, but were there any times during that waiting to get that rematch that it did get a little dark for you and that you didn't, you thought maybe it wouldn't come or it didn't? No?
I don't know. I loved it. That whole year was awesome. Spending the whole year with her, getting to wake up at 6 in the morning, changing a poopy diaper, it's awesome. No, but I honestly wouldn't change it for her. I'm so happy. Like, me and my wife are so blessed to have such an amazing daughter, such a good kid.
And certainly it gives you an opportunity to heal up from any sort of lingering injuries you may have had anyway then.
100%. Well, it wasn't that bad. I think it was more mental and just letting my body recharge, because I don't know, some guys, I don't know if some guys can do it, I can't, but if I'm go, eventually I'm just going to wear down, and just mentally and physically I was kind of just drained.
Awesome. Well, congrats.
Thank you.
Stipe over here.
I'm joking.
On your left. Right here.
Okay, I see you.
All right, so Stipe, obviously there was a lot of talk about what would be next for Daniel, John Jones trilogy, et cetera, et cetera. I know you just want to focus on your fight, but now that you're on the other side of it, how much did it bother you that everyone was talking about that and they just seem to be overlooking you a bit?
I'm used to it. I'm not worried about it. Listen, it's the game we're in. People want to see this fight. People want to see that fight. Listen, I'm happy I got my opportunity, and look what I got back.
Hey, Stipe, just one for me. Congrats on the win, first and foremost.
Thank you. I got you.
You know, Daniel had the really special privilege of sitting down with his kids and watching that E60 special on him. When you talk about legacy, when you inevitably get your own E60, what do you want your daughter to take away from it when she's older?
Just, you know, there's a lot of reasons why I wanted this fight. Honestly, I think about it more and more. There's a lot of reasons, not just about me, but it was a lot about me. But like, I just knew I was a better fighter. But then, like, I wanted to show my daughter that, you know, times get tough. You know, something doesn't happen. You just gotta get back up and just, you know, dust yourself off. And then also, a bunch of guys at the stations, kids, when I lost, they cried. They all cried, and that really bothered me. You know what I mean? It just irked me. Not in a bad way. You know, I'm like, listen, you know, and I wanted to show them that, like, listen, sometimes, you know, like, just my daughter, sometimes it doesn't happen, but you just gotta, you know, and there's a lot of reasons why I wanted this fight. It's just, you know, more for me too, because I knew I was a better fighter, and for my daughter to show her that, like, you know, things get tough, you get, you know, a lot of adversity, it's okay, you know, you just gotta push through. But also with a bunch of the guys at the fire station, the kids were crying, and they went after I lost, you know, I was like, it happens, you know, it's life. I was like, it's okay. I'm gonna show them that, listen, you're fine, get it back.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Steve, just quickly, I just wanted to elaborate. You said before that it wasn't about legacy originally, but now it is. You gave the example about how you wanted to set a good example for, you know, some of the kids in the fire station and stuff. But as far as how you are seen by the MMA community as some of the all-time greats, when did that change for you? When did you decide? Because you've said a lot of times you didn't really care about respect and things like that. When did the legacy become important to you?
I think when I had my daughter, you know, I just show her that, like, you know, like, listen, your dad's a tough dude, you know. He went out there and, you know, he got beat up a couple times and he beat a couple guys up, you know, and just, he did well at it. He was good at what he did. And that's when I show her that no matter what you do in life, you work hard, you know, you can build your legacy no matter what it is. Thanks, guys. This is so awkward. It's like, I feel like I'm like getting hungry. I'll take a photo with one. My face hurts. Thanks, guys. Thank you. You guys are awesome. You guys are good in here till 2 a.m.
My boyfriend is addicted to frozen food porn. Ever since it started, he turned into a 3-minute man. This addiction can happen to anyone. It's hard to resist. Hey.
When did I realize my friend was addicted to frozen food porn? He can't stop taking devour pics, or as he calls them, D-pics, even during the game. This addiction can happen to anyone. It's hard to resist. At least turn the flash off, man.
Welcome back to the Contender Series.
You think that guy wants to fight in the UFC?
Jeez. You want a statement win? Finishes have become the norm. How about a knockout? Oh, wow! Straight big right here. The Sugar Show. Oh! There's the tag. He's out.
Cold. Revenge is a dish best served cold and sleeping.
Man, these guys want a contract.